Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Bookie Monsters. My name is PK. Hang on a second. Let me get rid of that. It is Wednesday, April the 24th. Hope you're having a good day. Hey, Elena. Good morning. How am I this morning? I'm pretty okay. How about you? Oh, you already answered that. You knew I was going to ask that. You're doing great. Fantastic. And Mary says, good morning to you guys. Happy Wednesday and Romance Day. Hopefully, there will be some good historical English romances. You know, the Darling Duke, etc. Indeed. Indeed. I hope so. All right. Let's see. Quick announcements before we jump in. I've got a lot of tabs open. Some I've vetted, some I have not. So we will see. Um, no sprints tonight. I don't do them on Wednesday nights. We will have them tomorrow night, though, at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and they'll go for 2.5 hours. I do them every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. Let's get rid of this banner. All right, I wanted to start with the big one. Let's see. No, no, there it is. And I say the big one because this is a very popular author, particularly with the younger readers. This is Funny Story by Emily Henry, but I'm not being exclusive. She is just a good writer, and a lot of people like her. And she has a new one. Daphne always loved the way her fiance Peter told their story, how they met on a blustery day, fell in love over an errant hat, and moved back to his lakeside hometown to begin their life together. He really was good at telling it, right up until the moment he realized he was actually in love with his childhood best friend, Petra, which is how Daphne begins her new story, stranded in beautiful Waning Bay, Michigan, without friends or family, but with a dream job as a children's librarian that barely pays the bills, and proposing to be roommates with the only person who could possibly understand her predicament, Petra's ex, Miles Nowak. Scruffy and chaotic, with a penchant for taking solace in the sounds of heartbreak love ballads, Miles is exactly the opposite of the practical, buttoned up Daphne, whose coworkers know so little about her they have a running bet that she's either FBI or in witness protection. The roommates mainly avoid one another until one day, while drowning their sorrows, they form a tenuous friendship and a plan. If said plan also involves posting deliberately misleading photos of their summer adventures together, well, who could blame them? But it's all for show, of course, because there's no way Daphne would actually start her new chapter by falling in love with her ex fiance's new fiance's ex, right? Right. Okay. My season of scandal. There you go, Mary. The Palace of Rogues, book number 7 by Julie Ann Long. Well, he looks like, look what's going to happen tonight. A notorious rake meets his match in a lovely girl from the country, changing the course of both their futures. A London season is the chance of a lifetime for Catherine Keating, but the Ton's glitter and decadence and casual cruelty threatens to crush her hopes of finding a husband before her season even begins, until she accidentally acquires one of the most scandalous men in England as a secret chaperone. Famously fiery Lord Dominic Kirk can hold the House of Commons and any woman he chooses in thrall. But when his house goes up in flames in the dead of night, he finds himself at the Grand Palace on the Thames, and there he discovers his cynical armor is no match for another guest, an innocent country girl with crackling wit and eyes like a summer sky. He's maddening, elusive, hopelessly charismatic, wrong in every way, perfectly designed to break her heart, but she doesn't know she holds his battered heart in her hands. And though it will destroy him, Dominic knows loving her means setting Catherine free for the life and man she deserves. You, you can't love me. I'm a bad guy. Ah, beautiful dress cover. It's actually rather beautiful. The Stranger I Wed by Harper St. George, first in the Doves of New York series. New to wealth and to London high society, American heiress Cora Dove discovers that with the right man, marriage might not be such an inconvenience after all. Cora Dove and her sister's questionable legitimacy have been the lifelong subject of New York's gossip mongers and a continual stain on their father's reputation. But when the girls each receive a generous, guilt induced dowry from their dying grandmother, the sly Mr. Hathaway vows to release their funds only if Cora and her sister can procure suitable husbands far from New York. For Cora, England is a fresh start. She has no delusions of love, but a husband who will respect her independence. That's an earl worth fighting for. Enter Leopold Brendan, Earl of Devonworth, a no nonsense member of Parliament whose plan to pass a public health bill that would provide clean water to the working class requires the backing of a wealthy wife. He just never expected to crave Cora's touch, or yearn to hear her thoughts on his campaign, or to discover that his seemingly perfect bride protects so many secrets. Dun dun dun. I have to close tabs as we go because I've got a lot open. The Backup Bride Proposal by Jackie Burton. Maybe it's JC. Fourth, in the Boots and Bouquets novel, Bellini Weddings has agreed to allow a production company to film a movie in at Red Moss Vineyards. It will be great PR for both the vineyard and the wine and wedding businesses. Mae Wallace, who works for the Bellini family, is thrilled with the possibility of new business. What she isn't thrilled with is actor Kane August, who she finds crashing one of the weddings. He tells her it's research for the movie, but she finds him overconfident and annoying. Kane August is rarely surprised by anything until he meets Mae Wallace. She's sharp, just a bit on the snarky side, and the most refreshing woman he's had the pleasure of meeting. She constantly challenges him, and he can't remember having this much fun on a movie set. He takes every opportunity to spend time with her, peeling back layers until he gets to the heart of who this amazing person really is. And unexpectedly, he realizes that he's letting her in too, something he hasn't done with anyone before. However, they live very different lives, and he'll need to be careful around May because she's someone he could see a future with. But can she see the same thing? Earl's Trip. What a name. Kate August. Wonder how the author came up with that one. I don't know. I tell you. Even an Earl, let's see, Earl's Trip by Jenny Holiday. Oh, there's a name. Even an earl needs a rides or dies, and Archibald Fielding Burton, the Earl of Harcourt, counts himself lucky to have two. The annual trip that Archie takes with his BFFs Simon and Effie holds a sacred spot in their calendars. This year, Archie is especially eager to get away until an urgent letter arrives from an old family friend begging him to help prevent a ruinous scandal. Suddenly, the trip has become Earls plus Girls, as Archie's childhood pals Clementine and Olive Morgan are rescued en route to Gretna Green. This complicates matters. The fully grown Clementine, while as frank and refreshing as he remembers, is also different to the wild, windswept girl he knew. This Clem is complex and surprising and adamantly opposed to marriage, which, for reasons Archie dare not examine too closely, he finds increasingly vexing. It's compared to Ted Lasso meets Bridgerton. Okay. Another big name, Maisie Yates. And I did check, this one is new. The Rival. This rugged cowboy has always been content going it alone until he finally meets his match. Cowboy Levi Granger is his own man. He's proud of his ranch and he's proud of the siblings he brought up after the devastating loss of their parents. The only thing he's not proud of is the way the Sullivan family took advantage of him when he was struggling the most. So when pretty Quinn Sullivan comes looking to access his land for a business venture, the kick of attraction is as shocking as it is unwelcome. Booksmart Quinn can more than hold her own when it comes to arrogant cowboys, but there's something about Levi that gets under her skin. Maybe it's his ease around the ranch or his smoldering good looks. Or maybe it's the way he stares at her like he hates her, but maybe he also wants to kiss her. Quinn isn't one to throw one, Quinn isn't one to back down easily, but not falling for the frustratingly handsome cowboy is proving to be the biggest challenge she's ever faced. Uh, uh, uh. Finders Keepers, The Millionaires Club, number 3 by Sandra Kitt. She found a love worth more than money. When Olivia Cameron set out to renovate the house left to her by her great aunt, the last thing she expected to find behind the walls was millions of dollars worth of currency dated circa 1929. As the director of a charter school, to reap this much money would be life changing so long as it's hers to keep. But when FBI agent Sloane Kendrick comes to question her, the instant attraction thrumming between them gives Olivia nervous butterflies. Sloane feels the pull between him and Olivia too, but he's got a job to do. As his investigation brings him and Olivia closer, Sloane recognizes in Olivia's hesitation that she doesn't fully trust him yet. Because a romance like this is too good to be true. Olivia already had her miracle, and lightning doesn't strike twice, does it? Sure, it does. Cheryl Woods, another big name, and I did check. This is a new one. Well, so far we have three historicals battling pretty. Exactly. It's historicals and cowboys. Oh, these are two together. Are we sure this is new? Previously published. Never mind. As I was saying, cowboys, historicals and cowboys. Always a Maverick, Cowboy Brothers in Arms, Book 2 by Dolores Fawson. Even a real life hero needs a little healing sometimes. Air Force pilot Blue Donnelly has the greatest job in the world until his F 22 crashes during a demonstration flight, leaving him with a busted body and a ton of guilt. Then horse whisperer Marin Galloway walks into his hospital room, snapping him out of self pity with a shock of desire and some surprising news. Yeah, her 6-year-old ward thinks Blue is his daddy. Leo isn't really Blue's son, much as the little boy wishes it. Still, he needs a father figure, and Blue is willing to help, at least until it's time to report for duty. The longer Blue spends getting closer and closer to Marin and to Leo on his family's sprawling Texas ranch, the more he questions his need to return to the sky. But when a secret is revealed, leaving his entire future uncertain, Blue must decide who he is outside the cockpit and whether his new dream is big enough for two co pilots. Sometimes the descriptions are just kind of silly. Let's see, let's double check this date. Yeah, Fake Flame by Adele Buck, first in the First Responders series. A bookish firefighter who knows his Jane Austen suggests a little fake dating to fend off an ex. What's a feminist English professor to do except say yes? You can't fake heat like this. To an observer, hauling a baby grand piano onto a college quad to publicly serenade an ex might seem like a romantic gesture. To literature professor Eva Campbell, it's the latest manipulative move by a cheating jerk who won't take a hint. Plus, she never liked that song anyway. Setting the piano on fire might be an overreaction, but Eva's at the end of her rope, and at least until hot young firefighter Sean Hannigan talks her down, and that's not all Sean does. Soon he's offering to be Eva's fake boyfriend to get her creepy ex off her back. Unexpected, maybe, but there's something about Sean, beyond the angelic face and take me now body, that makes Eva say yes. Sean battles infernos for a living, reads romance on the side, and is a straight up family loving good guy. Eva's not sure she's ready for the danger he poses to her jaded heart. Given their differences, a relationship can't last, right? But the line between fake and real keeps blurring, daring her to take the biggest risk of all. Dot dot dot. Strangely enough, I would check this out a little bit more. Maybe it's the book aspect to it. I don't know. Fake It Till You Make It by Sierra London. Hang on, coffee's required. My necklace just tried to strangle me. Yeah, did it again. Where small town romance, where let's double check the date. Yep, we're good. A small town romance where a burned by love veterinarian arranges a fake partnership with a down on her luck city girl in order to save his family business. When Amory Walker goes for something, she goes big, including starting over. Leaving her cheating ex an entire DC life in the rear view, she crash lands in a small town with no money, no plan, no money, and no job. An opening at the animal clinic is the only gig for Miles. No surprise, considering the vet is a certified grump. If Eli Calvary ever cracked a smile, Emery might faint on sight from shock. At least his adorable golden retriever appreciates her fabulousness and shares her love of daily treats. I'm sorry, golden retrievers love everybody. When Eli took over his late father's practice, he quickly discovered the clinic was facing foreclosure, so there's no time for social niceties, especially not flirting, even with someone as gorgeous, bubbly, and business savvy as Emery. Yet when Eli needs to invent an investor on the fly, it's her name that comes to his lips. Now, for the sake of their furry clients, Eli and Emery hustle to save the clinic, trying to ignore the nonstop sparks between them. Because while their partnership may be fake, their connection already feels way too real. Oh my. Okay, you're gonna like this one, Mary. What is he doing? She likes it. Make Mine a Marquis by Tina Gabrielle, third in the Daring Ladies series. He lost everything. Now he's come to take it all back, along with her. Everyone thought that the Marquis of Landon was lost at sea. Instead, Robert Kirkian defied all the odds and survived. Now he's returned to London to reclaim his title, his property, and his lands from the foul snake who tried to have him killed, his own cousin. But proper vengeance requires patience and the perfect weapon, which is precisely when Robert meets his cousin's charmingly spirited betrothed. Miss Phoebe Dawson is everything an ambitious gentleman could desire in a wife: wealthy, exceedingly lovely, and with a sparkle in her blue eyes that could entice even the most reluctant suitor. But Phoebe's come too close to ruin, the humiliation of it, to be fooled by yet another handsome face and silken words. But oh, how he makes her feel! So flustered, so flushed, and so thrillingly alive. Phoebe knows that love is a fool's game, even if the Marquis does play his hand like an expert. His reputation can nary afford the tiniest spark of scandal, let alone those slow, deep kisses that leave her breathless. But she's about to discover the only thing more dangerous than a rogue is a wronged man hell-bent on revenge. Dot, 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 dot. Okay, we did that one. Not How I Pictured It by Robin Leffler. About a former teen superstar who grudgingly agrees to a reboot of the show that makes her infamous, only to find herself stranded on an island with her former co-stars and quite possibly the most useless survival group in history. It says this is a romance. 20 years ago, after Ocean Views went off the air, the beloved TV show about teenage romance and angst is back. No one is more surprised than its former star Agnes Ness Larkin that she's agreed to step back into the role of Haley Grant. After her father slash manager took off with her earnings, Ness ran away from the spotlight in shame. But maybe it's time to stare her past and her castmates in their discreetly botoxed faces. That enthusiasm lasts until the first table read, which, in co star Coco's words, is like a high school reunion without the dim lighting or booze. Ness assumed her old fling, Hayes Beaumont, there's the romance, would be too busy doing big Hollywood things to take part, but there he is, seated beside her, exuding pheromones and success. En route to the deluxe Bahamas resort where they're to start filming, the cast gets stranded by a storm. Of course they do. Stuck on a tiny island with a paltry cache of food and quite possibly the most useless survival group in history, Ness tries to reconcile her youthful dreams with where she's ended up, figuratively and literally. The producers wanted drama on and off screen, and they're going to get it. But where will Ness be when it's all over? I would actually check this out further. There's just this touch of snarky. That kind of draws me in. I don't know. Maybe it's I'm not really attracted to like fireman shows. Maybe more cops. Probably more cops. I don't know. What are you into, Mary? One Sweet Southern Summer, Blossom Branch number 2 by Janice Maynard. 2 lives spent searching, one summer to never forget. Life in Blossom Branch hasn't always been sweet for Leah Marks. Growing up in the shadow of her overachieving siblings, the shy psychology grad has struggled to find her own place in the world. So when she inherits a long forgotten summer camp, Leah sees an opportunity to help other kids who are struggling and maybe find happiness for herself. Her plan takes an unexpected turn, however, after a scorching encounter with the local fire chief. Oh, Lucas Carter. He's brave, he's kind, and he's not quite ready to settle down. Leah is drawn to the rugged firefighter, but she fears she'll be burned if she gets too close. Still, Leah and Lucas can't help but fall harder for each other until the ill fated uncertainty of their future can no longer be ignored. As another sizzling summer unfolds in Blossom Branch, will they both finally find the home and the love they've been searching for? Sure. We're just gonna take a quick pop. I had 3 more tabs up here, so we ran out of time, so we'll just take a quick look at these if you wanted to check them out further. The good ones are Taken by Taj McCoy. Falling for Gage by Mia Sheridan. I actually kind of like that cover. And the note to end on, Mr. Wicked. Second in the Hooked series by Marnie Mann. All righty. But that is all we have time for today. What is today? Wednesday? Oh, I gotta go to the post office on the way to work. Let me close these down. Okie dokie. Well, that is a whole bunch of romance being released this week. I'm actually interested in a couple. I'm gonna check out a couple. Um, let's see. I like the title of that one for one thing, not how I pictured it. Yeah, Cowboys. I once saw one in Santa Fe that was a feast for the eyes. Still remember him. Oh my, indeed. I don't really have a thing for cowboys. I'm in Montana. I've been surrounded by cowboy stuff my entire life. Spies, though. Yeah, maybe spies. I did with that one too. Mr. Wicked. Thanks, PK. Hope you have a great day and hope to see you at Thunderhurst Descendant later. Indeed. Indeed. Uh, check your tickets. We had the drawing last night, Mary. I don't know if you have any, but like 3 weren't claimed in the first set. Okay. Hope you guys have a good Wednesday. Again, we don't have sprints tonight. I don't do them on Wednesday nights. Our next sprints are tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then after that, it'll be on Saturday afternoon. Hope you have a good Wednesday. Be safe. Read good books. Oh, that's right. You did. Sorry about that. I remember now. Last night was so long ago. I slept between now and then and, memory wipe. Okay, so let's see. I'm probably going to read and crochet tonight, even though we don't do sprints. I'm at 80% of A Rogue's Company by Alison Montclair, so I'll finish that today and move on to whatever's next. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much if you're watching it now. Thank you so much. If you're watching it later, be sure to hit the like button. Tell people about us. We want to grow. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Om nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.